So this is how you're going to connect to your AC2000 using the Unis B Plus app. I'm doing this on an iPad. This does work on iPhone as well as Android. So the first thing you're going to do is click Search Peripherals. It should take you into a terminal list. This is using the Bluetooth on the device to connect to your reader. If the terminal is accessible, you should be able to click the View button. When you get to this screen where it's asking you to fill out a username and password, just go ahead and click OK. And what you'll see is the reader will go into a pairing or connecting mode, and you'll hear a little tone. Next, you're going to click Setting. And then you're going to click Edit. Now, each one of your terminals is going to require an individual ID, so you'll have to assign an ID number to each one. You will change the lock controller from the default of relay to OSDP. Click Select. The next thing that you need to change is the IP address or the IP address format that it's going to be using. In my environment, I'm using DHCP to grab an IP address from the network, but if you're not doing that, you can set this manually to a static IP address. The next thing that you need to do is put in the server IP. This IP address is the IP of the Unis server, or the server that's running the Unis software. Once you put that in there, you go ahead and click Save. It should change the setting on the terminal. Click OK. Once the terminal's back to normal, the blue light will go away, and it should show either no light or red light. Once you've successfully configured your reader at the reader location, we're going to go ahead and go into the Unis application to add it to the system so that it can communicate with the Unis server. So I'm logged into Unis now. I'm going to go ahead and click the Terminal tab, and we're going to go up here to Add Terminal. And remember that the terminal ID that we used in configuration earlier in the video was ID number 4. So we're going to modify this to ID number 4. And you do need to give it a unique name to any of the other readers on your system. So this is going to be an AC2000. Mine just happens to be a MyFair version, so I want to put that there. The rest of this information can be left default. And you're going to go ahead and click Add. You should get a registration complete. Go ahead and close this window. When the terminal connects successfully to Unis, you will see that the IP address and MAC address are filled out in these two columns. This means that the unit is successfully talking to the Unis server.